Some fundamental catalysts have helped move price action in a positive direction. As I observe the charts, I can see the potentials of an upside continuation through the means of a macro formation completion. I'm not going to pretend like the charts are displaying the entire story because they're not, so let's go over the potential signals in the immediate short term. Welcome back to the channel on this silly Saturday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into AMC. Let's kill 'em, team. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. Let's go ahead and take a look at AMC here on the 8-hour chart. And what I am going to say to you real quick, real honestly, is that this is the freaking second time I'm recording the audio because the video was recording without audio, so damn me. Let's go ahead and go over the entire video all over again right here, right? So we're pumped and we're super excited to do it all over again for you guys. So let's go ahead and now look at price here on the 8-hour chart. You can see that it's already displayed for you, already tagged up with the receipts and everything ready to go, right? So it's gonna be a shorter video this time now that we have it all done. Guys, so this is your daily retrace right over here, right? What I mean by that is that your daily time frame candle, right? That would be displayed as the 50% prior bar retrace, right? So now that we're going to start the new day on Monday, that prior daily bar is now going to have its 60 to 70% chances of a 30 to 50% prior bar retrace. I know lots of percentages and probabilities here, but follow me, just humor me, right? That's typically what happens in price action as we observe the probabilities. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's going to be your target of around 520 to 521. We definitely closed the post hours at $5.19. And this is right over here, the 50% retrace of your 8-hour bar, right? So this red candle, wow, no English today. So this red bar here displays or is representative of your previous 8-hour bar. So now that we move on to the Monday session and have our new 8-hour bar, we're going to have a potential 50% or 30 to 50% retracement of that bar. The targets are right here, 522, 23, and 24. Always mind the center of your range, right? So let's go ahead and now see the potentials of a short-term retracement, right? So now as we see momentum and volatility from the 5-minute time frame, you can actually see that we're completely topped out here. Not completely, I would say that it is overbought, right? And typically when we are overbought and we're facing some consolidation signals like this, a potential downside is to come, right? And now especially that we're getting a little bit of a signal of continuation for expansion on the 5-minute time frame, then that would mean that, yeah, if this is faced to the downside and this starts expanding, that means that we're quite literally hitting the throttle for a downside pivot, opposing the upside, right? So if this were pivoted up and this stochastic momentum indicator were pivoted towards the upside, then we would be throttling towards that upside. Please remember, volatility is direction neutral, and and this is representing volatility or the disbursement of returns, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at your 10-minute time frame. We're going to go ahead and start cascading all these times here so that we can observe how it's looking, right? 10-minute time frame does still have that upside pivot here, right? So that's literally going to be ending very soon since the 5-minute time frame is already facing the downside. We're going to do something like a cascading effect or a domino effect, if you will, right? The 5-minute time frame will start the downside, and then the 10-minute time frame will likely follow after that. 15-minute time frame will then be following that, and so on, right? So now the hourly time frame here, you can see that it's still showing a downside probability, which is why the thesis is in of the 515 to 514 drop in the immediate short term before us reaccumulating and making our way back towards that 520.21 and eventually 522 to 524. Okay, now the bi-hourly time frame momentum, or the 3-hour, actually better said, take a look at that. This is now a little bit better of a signal that I'd like to see. Sure, it's definitely pivoted towards the downside, but everything needs to take a breath, right? It's an ebb and flow. So now let's move on to the 4-hour. You'll start to see why. You see how the 4-hour now, it's now reading that massive upside from the prior 3-hour, and now that this 4-hour has an upside with some signs of decline. Look at the 6-hour. 6-hour has a tiny bit of decline, but mostly upside. And look at the 8-hour, completely on an upside trend, and it is in the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile. Actually, this would be your bear control zone down here, the bottom 50, and the top 50 would be your bull control. All right, so we are in that gravitational area. Likelihood is that we get pulled into that upside here, and by the time the immediate short-term time frame declines and starts lifting on the 5-minute, then pushes to the 10 minutes upside again after its downside, by that time, the 8-hour time frame would then start feeling the thrust again from those immediate short-term time frames based on time, right? Then the 8-hour time frame would start to show its upside continuation. We're already getting a flat line here in volatility, meaning that the contraction phase stopped. Contraction to the downside on volatility means that less people are buying and selling. When we're expanding, it quite literally means that more people are buying and selling, right? Remember, volatility is direction neutral. Now, the 12-hour time frame, let's take a look at this, right? Upside pivot inside of that gravitational zone as well. Yep, a little bit of weakness on that, but it's still very good. And actually, we're getting a slight little kink in volatility here. It is showing that there could be an upside and continuation of that volatility expansion. And I have another signal for you to take a look at, and this is going to be the daily signal. So take a look at this daily signal right over here, right? So that is displaying to you that we are getting ready for some volatility expansion, and there is already, this is pretty much an upside bias, right? That is very curious to me here because that could be a monstrous setup. This is a lot of expansion here on a daily time frame, right? It's been contracting since about July 15th, and of course, we're on July 26th now with this huge area of contraction, right? So usually when we contract this much, there is, sometimes there is a pretty volatile move towards the upside or downside, depending on where the stochastic momentum indicator is presently or facing. And in this case, we can see that it is facing up. All right, so we're going to see what's going on here into the next day. So I do have another little signal here for you, and this is a weekly time frame, right? This is your weekly candle close. You can see right now that it is a spinning top doji. It does have indecision in its nature. Think of it as like a tie between the bears and the bulls, right? The reason why I know all this stuff, guys, is because I am a stock trading instructor. Make sure to get in touch with me at ArcMastersCourse at Gmail, because now the demand was too big for that beginners charting and trading program. The mentorship is around 5 to 7 weeks, and I want to make sure that you can take advantage of this by getting in touch with me at ArcMastersCourse at gmail.com so you can enroll. Make sure to get enrolled on this, right? Because the class is going to be starting here in about 3 to 4 weeks, and I want to see you front and center. No excuses. Let's make sure to make a change in our trading career. Okay, you guys. So that's that right there. Let's go ahead and make sure that we can continue the analysis here. Like I was saying, guys, this is a green outside bar, right? The weekly bar is not only that spinning top doji that signals the tie between the bears and the bulls, but it also is outside green, meaning that it's engulfing. It's not a bullish engulfing, okay? It is the green candle is engulfing the prior red one, right? So that usually displays, some strength in the market. That means that the bulls have a lot of conviction. They are trying to take over. So when this happens, the nature of the beast is truly bullish, okay? But it does have to be a true green outside bar, and this is absolutely true, and green outside of that red prior bar on the weekly. We just closed it, we printed it, and now it's suggesting a potential continuation to the upside. I will say that if there is a break above this 577 up here, that could mean some pretty explosive moves starting all the way up to that $6 value for AMC, okay? But yes, the probabilities are landing towards a potential upside continuation just by that formation alone, okay, you guys? So now you have the targets, you have everything else. I got to tell you this, guys. I promise you that usually I'm the one that gains less in the trading team because I'm very conservative, but this week must have been one of my greatest weeks I've ever had, and I think I'm probably the biggest gainer in the entire Discord this time around, but I did gain over 1,000, literally over 1,000% in my trades over the week. I usually average anywhere between 100 to 300, maybe 400%. But yeah, this week was insane. I will say that there are several members who definitely got 300, 400% gainers through the week as well. I want to go ahead and make sure that you can hit those links on the left of the screen right here, right? Join the Discord trading team. It is the ARCa Bulls trading team, okay, you guys? I want to make sure that you can get your butts in there and trade the financial markets every single day with the ARCa Bulls trading team, all right? We already have over 240 members and counting. So make sure to join up and we'll be able to show you exactly the system and how we do it, okay, you guys? I love you very much. I think this is a pretty good place to leave off the video. If any questions, you know where to reach out to me, right? So let's go ahead and get this thing popping and locking, right? Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever, ever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well a very good rest of your weekend, and I will catch you at the bell on Monday. Adios! Oh, yeah.